I mean, for many of us, there are so many things that we want in life. We want to have the best partner possible. We want to have a loving family. We want to have a successful job. We want to be happy all the time. But how is it that we can program ourselves for success? Now, what we have to realize is that from a very young age, beliefs are installed within us that we may not be aware of. And these beliefs become part of us. And there are things that you feel that you can't do, and things that you feel that you can do. So, if I were to ask you today, how many of you know how to wolf whistle? Wolf whistle? You know when you go like this? Can anyone do it here? Do you think you ever could?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah?
Can you do it now still?
No, I cannot do what?
Can you still do it?
No, I think I could do it if I tried to learn.
Could do, yeah?
I can't do it now.
Okay, but for many of us, there's some things that we feel we can do and can't do. Wolf whistling was something that I saw other people do, but I thought, oh, I can never do that. I can't do that. But it's when that leverage gets up and you know what, I'm going to decide to do it. And when you start doing that, it becomes easy, right?
Yeah.
But for many of us, these beliefs are so installed within us that we never get to break them. So how do you break these beliefs that we have within us? What can you do? So let's look at your routine in the morning. Are there things that you say to yourself in the morning? Affirmations or things to help you move forward? Or are there things that push you down? Because for many of us, we place expectations on different things in life. So let me give you an example. Do you ever expect your partner to come home late? You're sitting there and you think, you know what? I reckon they're going to be late today. And you know what they do? They walk through the door 2 minutes late and you're like, oh, I knew it! There are times where we expect other things of other people that are bad.
Yeah.
You know what? I reckon this test is going to be really, really hard. And you say that to yourself, it's going to be really hard, it's going to be really hard. You sit down, you go, it's really hard, I knew it! But this is what we're creating for ourselves. If we expect good things, maybe good things will happen. And if we expect bad things, maybe bad things will happen. And this moves me on to the next point, which is the law of attraction. So let me give you a scenario. Let's imagine that you're going to a bar with your friends. You walk into the bar, and the women in the room, you order yourself a lovely cocktail. For the men in the room, a nice cold beer. You sit there with your friends, and you peruse the area. And you see some people walk in, and your friend goes, would you like to go and speak to them? And you think, oh, no. I have a bad feeling about them. Because often we see people walk in, and we're just like, no, they're not for me. They don't even say anything, they just walk in, you're like, no, not the type of person for me. We just get that feeling. And there's other times, we could be sitting about you, like, you know what? I want to speak to that person. That person, it's something about them. And that is the law of attraction. It's often the energy that we give off. So the question is, what sort of energy are you attracting into your life? Because for many of us, we seem to attract the wrong things. Why is that? Why do things constantly occur over and over and over again? We have the same problems in the relationships, the same things happen at work. We create a business, it fails. Create a business, it fails. Create another business, it fails. Why is this? Why do we have the same patterns? So the next thing is we're going to look at is concentration. The law of concentration is something that many of us forget about. I want you to imagine that you're a fox and you see 2 rabbits. Okay? What do? Do you go for 1 or 2? Who thinks 1?
Are they side by each?
Who thinks 1?
Are they side by each? What's the proximity to one another?
Let's say 1 is here and 1 is here and you're the fox and that holes are about 5 meters away. Would you chase them both or would you chase 1?
1.
Okay. But you don't do that in your days. Think about how many different tasks that you do, how many different projects, how many different things you have on. You don't focus on the one thing. Right? For many of us, we do so many different things. We're like, oh, I'm so busy because I'm doing this and this and this and this and this. And then in the evening, I do this and I manage this and I work for this and I manage that. And we wonder why we're stressed and we're not progressing and why we're not successful. But most of us don't have the ability to focus on one thing. And it's difficult to focus because we want that variety. We want something different in our lives. So the question for yourselves is, what is the one thing? What's the one thing that you really want to focus on? So have a think for yourself. If you could just choose one thing in life to focus on, what would it be? Next, I wanted to look into the law of substitution. And for this, I want to use an analogy of this. Has anyone seen this analogy before?
The half full, half empty.
Okay. So do you notice how the first thing that comes into your mind is a belief, right, about what I'm going to say? And because it's a common belief, that's what we believe it is. And often when we have a belief that we know something, our mind shuts down. Okay? So the actual question is how heavy is this water? How heavy do you think this water bottle is?
Depends on how long you hold it.
Correct. How long we hold it for?
How heavy it is.
How long we hold it for. Heaviness matters, but the length of time matters more in this case. So, for example, if I were to hold this for 5 minutes, would it be heavy?
After 5 minutes, yeah.
What about 1 hour?
Oh, yeah.
What about 24 hours?
Jesus.
Once have I told you that some people hold on to these things for like a week? But you do that with your negative thoughts every day. And for many of us, we can't let go of these negative things that happen. And we just hold them. And then we grab something else and we hold this as well. And you wonder why at the end of the day you're stressed. And you're holding on to all these things. Because the truth is you can look at things in a positive outlook or a negative outlook. But most of us in life, because our brains are built for survival, we focus on the negative things that can hurt us. Okay? Your brain wasn't created to make you happy. It was created to make you survive. But when we're talking about success, we want you to thrive. So how can we make you thrive? The next thing is repetition. So in your days, are there things that you repeat over and over again? Because if you keep repeating them over and over again, they become a habit. And for most of us, we have bad habits and good habits. And sometimes we find it hard to break a habit. So something that I wanted to introduce you to is something called stacking habits. So let's say, for example, you want to create a new habit. Right? Let's say you want to start doing some press-ups every night. Okay? Think of a habit that you do every night. What do? Brush your teeth, wash your face, and you do it straight after that habit. And that allows you to stack these habits and create new habits very easily. The next thing I wanted to talk about to really help you is affirmations. Are there things that you say to yourself over and over and over again? I'm not good enough, I can't do this, oh no, I can't do that, it's too hard. Because if you keep saying that to yourself, what do you think you're going to be thinking in a week's, a month's, a year's time? So for many of us, we need to change those affirmations. Because everything that you're learning today is about success. But the truth is every belief that you have is a lie. Right? There's nothing true. A belief is just, oh, I think that this, I think that. Right? I could think I'm the most successful person in the world. She could think that she's the most good-looking person in the world. Right? You could think that you're the strongest man on earth. But if you say that to yourself every single day, that's going to be positive for you, as opposed to the negative things that we often say to ourselves. So for yourself, think about a couple of questions. Number one, what is it that you want in life to be successful? Number two is, how are you going to create the habits to get there? Affirmations, visualizations, and actually taking action towards what you want is something that many of us don't really think about. We're so busy doing all these different things. How could we be successful? So these are the questions that we're going to answer now, so that you can start making those steps towards your success. Thank you.